Hey guys, this is Ashley with Ashley Says So, and I am back with another old Hollywood scandal video. Now, I ain't gonna lie, the real Madonna video is a members video because, baby, it is as raunchy and stankin' as some musty, mildew, fishy sit-down air. And it's just a little too much to be saying all out in the open like that. But never fear, because we're still going to get into some of the scandalous tales of Madonna's dating life. Let's hear the disclaimer and then let's get to it.
Everything in this video is alleged. It is gossip, tea, and scandal that I get from everywhere. Make sure you guys do your own research. Let's get to it.
Now, one of the first people that Madonna was rumored to have dated when she was right on the cusp of fame was up-and-coming artiste Jean-Michel Basquiat. It was in the year 1982 that Madonna ended up going to a party where Basquiat was in attendance. Rumor has it that Madonna ended up whispering to her agent that she needed to be able to work her way to that fine young black man over there because she wanted to make his acquaintance. And baby, the acquaintance was made. Basquiat actually bragged to a friend that was living with him, a guy by the name of Steve Torton, that he had took Madonna down through there and that the lovin' was good. And I guess the lovin' was good on Madonna's end too, because after this night, they were said to be a couple. Now, according to gossip, Basquiat and Madonna had a very intense and passionate relationship. You know, they would talk about religion, history, they would talk about philosophy. Well, I guess this very moody, deep, philosophical way that Basquiat acted got old very quick. And another thing Madonna was allegedly not into at this time anyway was the way Basquiat was doing drugs. This apparently was a bit too much for Madonna. She and Basquiat called it off after only 3 months. Now, her next lover was said to be a super popular DJ by the name of Jerldean Benitez. And the stories say that Jerldean Benitez pretty much laid the groundwork for her fame. He made sure that she got booked at all of the clubs. He had media contacts, journalists, like he did everything for Madonna, allegedly. He was also trying to do a lot of groundwork for himself because he was a popular DJ, but he wanted to be one of the famous, real big-time DJs. He had it in his mind that once they both achieved their dreams, you know, there would be this superstar music couple. Well, the folks say that Madonna told Jerldean she had the same desire. She just needed him to continue putting in the work for her, and as soon as she gained her big-time fame, she would make sure that the world knew his name. But y'all, please tell me something. How Madonna gonna make sure that the world knew Jerldean's name when at least once a week she was up under the cover screaming one of his closest friends' name, Steve Newman, and baby Steve just chomped it up? Well, apparently he was licking, crunching and munching and sticking so much that Jerldean ended up finding out. And honey, Jerldean knocked everything over. The folks say that he came to Steve Newman's apartment and kicked in the door and threatened to slap everybody in there if Steve didn't leave his woman alone.
But baby, listen, that's not even the kicker. How about they say when Jerldean did all of that, Steve Newman's girlfriend, Erica Bell, was in the apartment. And Erica Bell was Madonna's best friend at the time. And so that is how Erica Bell found out her best friend, Madge, was sleeping with her boyfriend.
Child, the whole thing was an absolute shit show. But Madonna worked her charm. She got her best friend Erica to forgive her, and more than that, she got her boyfriend Jerldean to forgive her. Not only did Jerldean forgive her, he actually proposed to Madonna. And the folks say Madonna was extremely happy, but she had one request. She didn't want to set the wedding date until after she had found true fame. Now, Jerldean thought that he would be seeing a wedding day after Madonna's video Like a Virgin came out. But Madonna said it wasn't enough fame just yet. She needed something that would really make her a household name. And luckily for Jerldean, the next video, Material Girl, took Madonna's name all over the world. And Madonna kept her promise. She'd received the fame that she always wanted, and so she started to plan a wedding date. Jerldean was ecstatic. He even started telling people that they should get ready to RSVP. But just a couple of weeks later, Jerldean found out that he himself would also need to RSVP because the wedding Madonna was planning was to marry the actor named Sean, whose last name started with a P. And yes, I'm talking about actor Sean Penn. And the reason reason why is because Madonna met Sean Penn on the Material Girl video shoot. And her engaged tale did start seeing him like not even a day after that. But then Jerldean was hurt even worse because there started to be rumors that were swirling around that said that Madonna was also cheating with Prince. Now to move on with the story, Madonna did end things with Jerldean like I said, and eventually she stopped sleeping around with Prince as well, and she and Sean Penn got married in the year 1985. And Madonna should have knew from the very beginning it was going to be some mess because allegedly on their wedding day, Sean Penn was running around shooting at folks. These folks said before the ceremony, Madonna was in the hotel room taking pictures and Sean Penn was on the beach shooting at news helicopter. Gossip claims Madonna was yelling over the balcony for Sean to stop, but he cursed her out and kept on shooting. It wasn't even a few months later when Madonna was scared that Sean was gonna turn that gun on her. Gossip claims that Sean Penn was absolutely and totally controlling, obsessive, and possessive. Said he would watch who Madonna was friends with, you know, where she went. He would have to go. At one particular party that she had to drag him along to, she was greeted by a longtime friend, a man by the name of David Walensky, and he greeted her with a kiss on the cheek. Sean Penn bust that man all upside his head. Now, Sean Penn was arrested for this and he was given probation, but he broke his probation soon after that when he got into a fist fight with paparazzi. And apparently, since Sean was so aggressive and crazy acting, within a year of being married, Madonna started to look for an outlet, aka another man. Allegedly, she started hooking back up with singer Prince, and she also was getting down with the dancer Shabba-Doo. Gossip claims Sean Penn ended up finding out about this, and then he chased her to the kitchen where he pushed her head inside of an oven. And after this craziness, I guess Madonna felt like, hey, it's over trying to find an outlet with men, so the folks say that she found an outlet with women. One woman in particular by the name of Sandra Bernhard. Now the story says that Madonna was able to keep her relationship with Sandra Bernhard under the cover from Sean Penn for a little minute because I guess he didn't suspect her to be messing around with a woman. You know, I'm not sure. But by the year 1989, Sean allegedly found out about Madonna's affair along with some other things she had going on, and this set up for their biggest fight yet. According to the rumors, Sean and Madonna had actually separated at this time, but Sean ended up finding out where Madonna was and he kicked open her door, chased her around the house, threw her down on the ground, and then tied her up to a chair. Gossip claims he kept her tied up for 4 hours before Madonna was able to untie herself and call the police. This right here was sure enough the last straw for Madonna in this marriage, and she and Sean ended up divorcing that same year of 1989. And Madonna skipped right on over to the home of JFK Jr. When Madonna started sleeping around with JFK Jr. in the year 1990, he already had a girlfriend. I guess Madonna thought she was the Marilyn Monroe to the girlfriend's Jackie O. But the real Jackie O was not entertained, honey. When she found out that her son was sleeping with Madonna, she called him immediately and told him he needed to break it off because she felt like Madonna was a straight up. Now, after JFK Jr., Madonna started dating the model who starred in her Justify My Love video, a man by the name of Tony Ward. And this right here was alleged to be one of the wildest periods in Madonna's life. And baby, the wildness didn't have nothing to do with Tony Ward, because this wildness I'm talking about happened with everybody else. The first person in the lineup was Kool Moe Dee. And after Kool Moe Dee dove in it and came back up for air, baby, they said that Bobby Brown was in his scuba gear up next. And child, the messy gossip say that when Madonna felt Bobby Brown's TT, Kool Moe Dee's TT was moved on out the way. Matter of fact, the folks say she was a little upset, little jealous when he started getting serious with Whitney Houston. In fact, some messy gossip claims that when Bobby proposed to Whitney, Madonna was kind of in a huff and decided it was time for her to get remarried as well. And the man she chose to try to make her second husband, Warren Beatty, played Madonna for a fool. Because you see, while they were dating, Madonna made it clear that she was looking for marriage. And the folks say that Warren Beatty simply stopped answering his phone for her after that. Now, after Warren stopped answering her calls, Madonna promptly went and cried on the shoulder of Michael Jackson, telling him all of her woes. You know, she just wanted a good man to love her. And Michael was a good listening ear at first, but the folks say that when Madonna suggested that Michael be that man for her, Michael Jackson's listening ear shriveled up. It said that Michael told her, we could be friends, but that's really all I see us as. But I guess old Maggie Poo wasn't used to being denied. It was because Madonna would call Michael's phone all hours of the night from different numbers, and she would say things like, oh, Michael, it's me. I'm touching myself. Do you want to hear it? And Michael at first would be like, Madonna, I'm not comfortable with this. Please stop calling me like this. And after a while, it said that he would just kind of hang up on her. And I guess since Madonna couldn't get Michael's black TT, she had to get some black TT from somewhere, honey, because the folks say she went right on into messing with Devontae Swain. And Devontae Swain was swinging in that thing until Tupac came along. Now it seems with Tupac, or according to gossip, Madonna wanted a little bit more. I think she wanted a kind of serious relationship with him, but also she wanted to always be seen with him, kind of to let the world know that they had something going on. And Tupac didn't really want that. He didn't mind if the world knew him and Madonna were friends, but he didn't want people to think that she was his serious girlfriend. He kind of just wanted to be friends with benefit. But at least he didn't just stop answering her calls and kind of cut her off the way some of the other guys did. Tupac actually sat down and took his time to write a letter to Madonna explaining to her that it's really just better for us to end anything that we have going on. And I suppose since Tupac basically told Madonna that his image was a little bit too black for him to be seen with a white woman, Madonna felt like she had to get with some kind of rapper some type of way, so she chose a white rapper, Vanilla Ice. Now Vanilla Ice seemed to be into Madonna until she ended up authoring a book that made him very upset. And this book Madonna authored was called Sex. And this book definitely was a scandalous thing, child. Baby, it had all type of pictures not appropriate for public eyes. And the folks say Kool Moe Dee was in one of these pictures in that book, but that's not what made Vanilla Ice upset. What made him upset is allegedly he appeared in the book. He said Madonna ain't mentioned a thing about this book. She certainly didn't mention anything about putting him in the book. And so after this, Vanilla Ice certainly didn't want anything else to do with Madonna. And so she set her sights on Dennis Rodman. Rumor has it Madonna had offered Dennis Rodman $20 million to get her pregnant. And so Dennis Rodman was putting in that work. And I guess Madonna was disappointed with Dennis Rodman's failure to get her pregnant, so she ended up breaking it off and got with a man by the name of Carlos Leon. And very soon after they got together, her daughter Lourdes was born. Now Madonna's reps were saying that this was a love relationship, and Carlos and Madonna were just so in love and dedicated to one another. However, when baby Lourdes was only 7 months old, Madonna split with Carlos, which made the public speculate that she probably only got with him in order to have her baby. And honey, I guess after Madonna had that baby, her stuff was ready for a little razzle dazzle, because the folks say magician David Blaine started doing appearing and disappearing tricks in and out of that stuff. Baby, they say the magic tricks went on for about a good month before Madonna called it quits. He must have left a little bit of sprinkle behind, because the next man who allegedly got up in that thing put a ring on it, and that was Guy Ritchie. Now the story says Guy and Madonna married in the year 1999, and that very next year in 2000 they had their son Rocco. And the marriage seemed like a true love match, and really a lot of people felt like Madge had finally let her trifling ways go. She had found a man to really complete her, and she really wanted to do this thing. But about 5 years in, Madonna suddenly wanted to adopt a child from Africa. Like she wanted this very bad. And gossip on the streets claim that Guy Ritchie wasn't totally against it, but he also wasn't 10 toes down about it. In the end, though, I suppose he agreed to it, because in the year 2006, Madonna did end up adopting a child from Malawi, Africa, and that was her son, David Benda. Now, whether Guy Ritchie had jumped on this adoption bandwagon or not, it is clear that after the adoption, things became very shaky in Madonna's household. She she and Guy grew very distant. And this is when she allegedly started an affair with Alex Rodriguez. Now, Alex Rodriguez's wife ended up finding out, and she threw a major hissy fit. She also ran straight to the press. And although Madonna's team put out statements that even though this affair gossip was going around, everything was great between her and Guy Ritchie, the truth was revealed when 3 months later, Guy Ritchie and Madonna divorced. Now, after this divorce, honey, I guess Madge said that she was done with me and her age and older. She wanted something fresh. And so by 2010, she was dating someone that was 28 years her junior, and his name was Jesus Lutz. Jesus only lasted a year before Madonna moved on to somebody who was 29 years her junior, and his name was Brahim Zabat. And just to give you an idea of these age gaps, in 2009, Madonna was 51 years old. So somebody being 29 years her junior, this guy was 22 years old. And Brahim sustained Madonna from the year 2011 to 2013, but then she got bored of him, and she got with a guy 30 years her junior named Timur Steffens. Now, Timur lasted from 2014 to 2017. Then she dropped him for Kevin Sampaio. But in 2019, she got word that a very handsome choreographer was 36 years her junior, and so Madonna jumped on it. This guy's name was Ala Malik Williams. Now, Ala Malik seemed to do it for Madonna. Like, she was photographed out with him, on vacation with him and everything. And it's also alleged that he got very close to her kids, which makes sense because he was basically their age. But sooner or later, Madonna saw something that she thought was even more fine. And this was her son's boxing coach, a guy by the name of Josh Popper. By 2024, Madonna wanted some of that island flavor. And so she allegedly started dating Jamaican soccer player Akeem Morris. And this almost turned into a huge scandal because apparently Akeem had been in a long-term relationship for a while. But thankfully for Madonna, nobody really paid the ex-girlfriend any attention. Some folks say Madonna even got a little petty, baby. Said soon after the ex-girlfriend said this, Madonna uploaded some videos or something with Akeem rubbing on her loose leg. And I'm not sure, but I think Madonna and Akeem may still be together as we speak. And if so, that means that they have at least made it to the 1 year mark. So let's wish Madge the Diva, aka Madonna, and her little boo well, because at 67 years old, still pulling a man that looks like that, baby Madonna is basically showing her copycats that they could never. And this is the end of the old Hollywood scandalous tale of Madonna's lovers. Again, the real raunchy, musty, stinking video is a members video. You guys are free to join the membership if you want to. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please like the video. If you guys are new here, please subscribe. And I will see you again soon. Bye.